Are you thinking about making a move to the DC area and Arlington, Virginia is a suburb on your list? But before you move here, you want to know everything that there is to know about living here before actually living here, and even if it's the right fit for your family. Well, if that's the case, this video is for you. And if you're on a street named after a state, then you're going diagonal. But this may explain why Arlington, Virginia is home to many national monuments and federal institutions. Similarly, Arlington is also broken up into sections, North and South Arlington, and it's divided by Route 50 that goes, it starts at right after the Seven Corners commercial area, and it goes right through into DC. You'll know if you're looking for a house in Arlington if the zip code has 22 in the beginning of the zip code. The Rosslyn Ballston corridor is a series of 5 street-based urban villages in Arlington. You've got Rosslyn, Courthouse, Clarendon, Virginia Square, and then Ballston. And the Metro Rail runs directly through it. In fact, there are 86 Metro Rail stations in the DC area. 11 of those are in Arlington, and 5 of those 11 are within this corridor. The corridor is a mix of historic buildings, commercial buildings, and residential high-rises, in addition to single-family neighborhoods that also surround the corridor. So Rosslyn can be described of the scaled-down version of Manhattan, offering more than 8 million square feet of office space, 2,200 hotel rooms, and over 6,000 units of condominiums. The closest urban village to DC is Rosslyn, and because of DC's strict height guidelines, Rosslyn is a place to be in Virginia if you want to see the DC skyline. If you're visiting and you want to see the DC skyline, there's this really cool gem called the View of DC right in Rosslyn, where you can go to the top floor and you have a 360-degree view of all of Washington and Arlington. There's also a really cool park right here in Rosslyn called the Gateway Park. It's a 3-acre park. There's an amphitheater there. They have festivals, farmers markets, and you have an awesome view of Georgetown right here. And it's right at the end of the Key Bridge. The next urban village you'll come to is Courthouse, and this is where the county's offices are, as well as the Civic Center. It's also increasingly become more popular for the IT companies as well as the .coms. Sapient, a leading IT consulting firm, also has offices here in Courthouse, as well as Verizon, which is one of the largest employers in the area. Clarendon is the next urban village after Courthouse, and this is the center of the corridor. And this is the area that's known for all the ethnic restaurants, the hoppin' bars, the live music, the retail, the shopping. That's what you'll find here in Clarendon. It also has a really extensive community involvement. And then there's Virginia Square and Ballston. So this is like the science technology center of the corridor. The National Science Foundation is based here, as well as CACI. Also, the Boston Common Mall is an awesome place to go for chain restaurants. But the Boston Common Mall isn't only for just the restaurants and the movie theater, it's also the home to the Nats hockey team's practice rink. Another cool area to check out is the Arlington Pike corridor. So there are no metro stations here, but there's tons of buses, and it's the new up-and-coming area with bars and restaurants that are all centered around the landmark Arlington Draft House, which people have gone to for years to watch live comedy shows, old school movies. It's definitely an area that you want to check out. Then you have Shirlington Village, and that's in South Arlington as well. So Shirlington Village is also in South Arlington, and it's a mix of like restaurants, commercial, high-rise living. There's about 24 restaurants in the Shirlington Village, ranging from Thai to American cuisine. One of my favorites is the Carlisle brand. Great American Restaurants is a staple in the DC area. They're, in and out of Arlington and Fairfax and Tyson's Corner. But anytime you go to a Great American Restaurant, they always come through. The food's always amazing, and it's just a really cool place to check out. The next downtown area is one I'm sure that you all have heard of as well, and it's Crystal City, Pentagon City, the new home to Amazon. Crystal City used to be mostly office space, but now we're seeing a lot more high-rises come into play, and it is a corridor right off of Route 1. It also has 10 million square feet of office space, residential living, and its growing restaurant row. Reagan Airport is also located in Crystal City, and Crystal City does have a couple of the metro stops, and in addition to the one at the Pentagon itself. So Crystal City hasn't always been super walkable. It still isn't, depending on where you're at in Crystal City. So they developed like this really cool subterranean underground shopping walkway so that you can get from commercial building to commercial building without having to cross the major highways. Adjacent to Crystal City is the Pentagon Fashion Center Mall. It is one of the most popular malls in the area. There's lots of high-end shopping, and there's a metro station, there's restaurants, and then it's also the home to the Ritz-Carlton's hotel. So Arlington has like the most awesome outdoor living. There are parks everywhere. And when I say everywhere, everywhere. Wherever you live in Arlington, whether it's North or South Arlington, whether it's on the corridor, whether it's in one of the downtown areas, there are parks and playgrounds everywhere. So Arlington's Park and Rec situation is large. It has over 148 parks, 13 rec centers, and these rec centers provide everything that you could possibly need for all ages, from classes, camps, fencing to golf, tennis to cooking classes. Arlington's Park and Rec Center has you covered. You can literally plan your entire kid's year of camp just by getting one of the Arlington Parks and Rec catalogs and going through and planning it all out. Lots of the parks in Arlington also have these really cool pavilions that you can reserve or rent for any event that you have, whether it's a birthday or reunion. And if you're a resident of Arlington, you can simply call the county and reserve one of these pavilions, and they're a great way to enjoy the outdoor living while being covered. There's grills there. It's a really cool resource to take advantage of. There's also basketball, tennis, volleyball, pickleball courts that are all around Arlington at the parks. There's also over 100 playgrounds, and the playgrounds are really cool. Some of my favorite playgrounds that I've taken my son to as he's been growing up were the Rocky Run Park. There's also Mosaic Park. Lots of these parks have cool features like splash areas, rain gardens, rock climbing walls. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous, and they're all free. Arlington has about 115 trails covering about 4,500 miles, and 100 miles of those trails are designated bike paths. A great way to explore all of Arlington is just doing the Arlington Loop, which takes you all around Arlington, and it's a paved path. It's actually paved paths. Several different paths are connected. So first you've got the W&OD trail. The W&OD trail is a 45-mile long trail that starts in Shirlington Village and runs all the way through Virginia, through Northern Virginia, all the way down to Percival. And it used to be a railway. So you can find cool like cabooses where they'll have the train cars stationed. Then you have the Martha Custis Trail, called the Custis Trail. It's a 4-mile trail that starts in Rosslyn, and it goes all the way from Rosslyn, and it connects you with the W&OD Trail. The Mount Vernon Trail is one of the most popular bike paths in all of Virginia. It runs from Rosslyn all the way down to Mount Vernon in Alexandria. I think about 5 miles of the trail are in Arlington, and it's beautiful. I mean, you could ride this bike path. It goes along the GW Parkway and the Potomac River, so it's super scenic. It can get busy at times. Just watch out for that. To complete the loop, there's the 4-mile run trail, and it's about a 6-mile bike path that runs along the 4-mile run stream. It's the most western part of this bike path. Starts at the airport, the DCA Reagan Airport, and it runs for about 2 miles with Mount Vernon, and then it connects you with the W&OD Trail after you go under 395. And if any of you are watching are from Arlington, Virginia, used to live here, were born here, and have any other tips and tricks that you could pass along the way, please drop them in the comments below, because I'm trying to explain everything, and I'm sure that there's a lot more things to see that I'm not even touching on. Hey, and if you have found this information helpful so far, please give it a thumbs up, because that will help push it out to more people that are also looking to relocate to the DC area. And if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything that there is to know about living, eating, breathing, the pros and the cons, all the nitty gritty about everything living in the Washington, DC area, well, hit subscribe. My name's Allison. I'm a local realtor and I'm a native of the area, and my team and I get calls all the time from people around the world looking to make a move to the DC area. So whether you're making that move in 9 days or 90 days, feel free to reach out, and you can even schedule a one-on-one Zoom just like this, my personal favorite. The link is in the description below. so that we can get to know you, meet face to face, and help you make a smooth move to the DC area. Serves as a gateway into DC because you cannot get into DC without first going through Arlington. No matter where you're coming from in Virginia, you have to go through Arlington in order to get into DC.